Hi, it's Tisha, and we have literally 2-3 minutes to cover something else in the news. The Saudi purchase the PGA Tour. Yes, the Saudi Muslims, yes. Why would the PGA Tour, something that's dominated by men, and we know Tiger Woods black, but we know the majority, they're white. Why would Westerners sell to the Saudis? We're getting mixed review. Ladies and gentlemen, it boils down to money. Okay, it's money. The Saudis were blessed with location. The Saudis are blessed. They believe in the one God, the Christian, the Jews, and the Muslim believe in. So God provides for all three categories, three religions. And God provided the Muslims, the Saudis, with oil. So here's the issue. We have a woke culture, Saudis. Prince. It's got a prince there. They do not treat women good in Saudi Arabia. Women are not equal. So we've got to figure out what is going to happen now that the Saudis, they bought the golf tournament in America. We know it's prominently men, and we know the Saudis are for men, and we know the Saudis have a lot of money, and Americans love money. That's why America's so rich. And they're all saying, just move on. The Saudis brought a lot of money to the golf place. Forget about September 11th. Bill Hamer on Fox had one of the president of a nonprofit organization on, and they were just talking about how some people are still hurt from September 11th, and we have the golfers saying, forget it, move on, because we're getting millions. And the woke movement, what will the Saudis do about the woke movement in America? Didn't the prince see what's going on with Target? Didn't he see that transgenders are now participating? And will the woke movement get to hit the golf movement now that the Saudis, they are Western Muslims, but still women in Muslim countries are just not as equal as men. It doesn't matter what I tell you. I did not buy in Dubai because I'm a black woman, okay? And I went to buy in Muslim countries, and I was told, how am I going to evict my tenant? I'm a woman, okay? So they treat women different in the Muslim countries. The men in America won't say anything because these Western cultures have a lot of money, they have a lot of oil, and we all rely upon oil, okay? So God bless them all. We'll see what's going to happen with the woke culture, because now the Saudis really, woke. Let's see what the Saudis think, if the woke is a joke. But we're going to watch. We'll bring up more about the Gulf and the merger. And we welcome in America. We are diverse, so we welcome the Saudis. And maybe we could just let them know women are equal to men, according to the Bible. So we've got a lot to cover. Trump has been indicted. That is the breaking news for today. Trump has been indicted. And now, this is not with a brag. This is something else. Yes. What's going on? Big government. So what's going on now? Apparently, we've got Jack Smith He's from the Biden administration. It sounds political. I know what you're going to say, but we've got to see Trump is running for re-election. He's been indicted. So according to Mr. Smith, Trump left some top secret at his home in Florida when he left the office. So they're trying to indict him on some espionage act, treason. Ooh. So the FBI found this top secret. But my question to everyone is, was it top secret for the real estate deal? Was it top secret for another show? Was it top secret for his political stuff? What was the top secret? How do we know it was even something to do with the White House? So that's number one. Number two, why are we indicting Trump the second time now that he's running? Could this be a political ploy? So it looks political to most people. But number three, can Trump run for president while in prison? So I am, as an attorney, I'm an attorney, I'm an attorney in the United States. Yes, Trump can run while he's in prison. He won't be the first person, and he probably won't be the last. So that's the greatness of America. Think about 1920. When Eugene ran, he ran from jail. He won over 500,000 votes. So even if Trump is indicted, he won't get a trial till March 2024. So we know that the campaign is going to have to be slower now because Trump has to deal with the campaign and he's got to deal with these indictments coming. So what did the GOP do about all of this? They're running from Trump. They're saying run from Trump. So that's the answer for the GOP. All I can say to you is that there are too many people running the GOP. The party's too split. And Biden is going to kind of get a freebie. And the inflation is pretty bad. But, people are not giving up on Trump. So that's another issue we got to see. A lot is going on. We'll bring more next week. So subscribe so you can get more on the Trump and the new indictment that just happened. And yes, Trump can run for president even while in prison. So I'm Tisha Paul, and let's talk more about post-Fox News versus Tucker Carlson. Why do I have an interest in this? As you know, I'm a former Fox News guest. I was on the Megyn Kelly show. I've been on Fox and Friends. I also authored a book, The Homeowner's Guide to Surviving Foreclosure. I've been on Newsmax as well. And I had 1.6 million views on Twitter. I was a conservative back then. Unfortunately, I got deplatformed when Jack Dorsey was there. Now I'm on YouTube, and I'm an independent journalist, just like Megyn Kelly is an independent journalist on YouTube. Chris Como, former CNN, is an independent journalist on YouTube. Bill O'Reilly, former Fox host, is an independent journalist. And Tisha Powell, that's me. I'm doing independent journalism. So I've ditched cable for internet because this is the future. And now we see Tucker Carlson, host Fox News. Tucker Carlson used to get 3 million views on cable channel Fox. And his 10-minute show on Twitter did 73 million views. Wow. Not surprised. I did 1.6 million on Twitter as well. Thank God for the internet. We get to do independent journalism. So Fox is not happy with Tucker Carlson. So Fox has a contract with Tucker, and they're saying Tucker is violating his contract. So do not expect that the 73 million ratings is going to go very well with Fox. Looks more likely they're going to have a lawsuit between Fox and Tucker Carlson. Of course, Elon Musk is happy for the results. Elon Musk is even telling us that it's not viewed hours, which is 73 million. It's probably even more because if you do the API. Thank you, Elon, for explaining that to us. So you're saying that when I was on Twitter for 1.6 million views, it wasn't really that. Maybe it was more. Okay, I got deplatformed. Okay, but I'm on YouTube and I thank God for that. So you're saying my 150,000 views is probably more. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel. You'll see why I got 1.6 million views on Twitter. So yes, so Elon Musk is saying there's more than 73 million. It's important to note that Elon Musk is the owner of Twitter, and he is where Tucker is now, and Tucker is saying he's into independent journalism because that's the future. That is the future now. It's going to be a lot of independent journalists, and they'll be on cable channel like myself, like Tucker Carlson. I mean, on the internet. We went from cable to internet. I was a guest. But that's the future of journalism. It's going to be more internet one-on-one. So that's how it should be anyway. That's just the natural progress of life. So we'll watch the Fox and the Tucker Carlson say go, and Tucker is doing good. So 73 million, but let's see what Fox is going to do about that, because Fox is saying, we've got a contract. Tucker is not supposed to be on. Tucker can't talk but till 2025. And Tucker is saying, that's my freedom of speech. Okay. And Fox is saying, well, you signed that contract. And remember, Tucker got big money from Fox, but at the same time, this is his livelihood. And, the internet is real, and he's got to get in while he can. So we'll see how this lawsuit goes. So we're wishing both Fox and Tucker Carlson the best, and we're just going to watch. But as Megyn Kelly was saying on her show, and I'm going to say as well, cable channel is a lot different today. The internet, a lot of people are watching the internet for their news. So I think that cable channel need to pick up on that trend and recognize that YouTube, Twitter, and Google, that is the future. That is the future. So we've got to accept that reality. So we go from Tucker Carlson and Fox to what else is going on in the United States. California. Okay. So everyone knows there are 3 wonderful states in America: California, New York, and Florida. Okay. So I lived in both New York and Florida. I haven't lived in California. I've spent time there, so I can describe what California is like. It is beautiful. It's one of the prettiest places in the world. California and Florida tend to have a lot of people living there. They're rich, middle class, and poor. Okay, so California has poor people. It has homeless people. California is the biggest democratic nation. Okay, it's where socialism grows. That's where Pelosi is. That's where Kamala Harris comes from. That's where Gavin Newsom is from. So we shouldn't be surprised today that there is a problem with insurance in California. I know there's a problem in Florida too. I'll tell you about that one. We'll talk about insurance. The news today, the news is going on. 2 major companies in America, Allstate and State Farm, 2 major insurance companies, they left California. That's a problem. The inflation is the number one reason they left. The cost is just too expensive. The inflation, big government, 1.9 trillion. That's what President Biden gave, 1.9 trillion. That's now, we're paying for it, young people. We're paying for it. The money was not free. So we're seeing now that the cost of living, everything is higher. And so insurance cannot operate. Number 2, big government, California. Big government got involved with the housing business, and they dictated where houses are supposed to be, and they made the houses in the wrong area. Federal government control 1/3 of California's land, or half of the land, and they're not working on the fire area. Climate change. Let's talk about climate change. I believe in the Bible. The Bible does not say anything about climate change. The Bible said that in the last days, things will be worse. Natural disasters will be worse. But it didn't say that the world was going to end with climate change. So I go with the Bible, and the Bible already tells me what the end of the world is going to be. Okay. So climate change, that's a socialist agenda right there. So the insurance companies, they're in the business to make money. Okay. Get that in your head. I used to sue insurance companies when I was down in Florida. Insurance companies are in the business to make a profit. They check data. Okay. They check data before they go in. What they're seeing right now, it's not profitable for them to be insuring people in California. So they're moving out because it's not profitable. They're not saying why it's not profitable, aside from they're blaming the rising stuff. But we know that inflation is high. We know that houses aren't coming down thanks to the government interference. So we know everything that's happening today is because of big government. So that's what's going on in California. Big government, socialism came in. Right now, it's my understanding that the insurance company in California, the government, the governor Newsom, which everybody is saying, he's destroying it. I mean, California has a lot of homeless people, okay? I take vacation out to California, but I can't get other people to come with me because there's so much homeless people there. And I just go there because I want to bring attention to what's going on. This is not acceptable. The way people are living in California is not acceptable. It's not acceptable for them to be losing values in their home. It's not it's not right. It's not right for people to not have insurance on their home. And it's the big government that's the problem. It's the big government, and we got to look on it that way. So back to the two insurance company, they left, and now California is uninsurable. So we're going to expect a lot more poverty in America. We're going to expect the inflation to go on because these are all losses. Somebody's got to absorb it. And one of the reasons the insurance company left California is because the California state government, Newsom, he's an attorney just like myself. He is like telling the insurance company when they could raise stuff. So he purposely kept it very low for a long while, which was not sustainable because he wanted people to come to California. It wasn't sustainable, so the insurance companies left when they could. So yeah, government cannot control real estate. Government, they're just lawyers, you know. Most of them, they're not business people, they're politicians by nature. So for people to be like putting these politicians in, I tell people the AOC, the socialism, the Biden, it's too big of a government, and they're just printing money and chasing people up. So let's go to Florida as well, because as you know, the insurance in Florida is very expensive. I mean, I have a townhome in Florida and my insurance is going up. I mean, I'm expecting 40% increase in my insurance. So I'm going to be paying another probably $300. That's expensive for me. That's very, very expensive. And I might not be able to keep my home in Florida because that's just the reality of life. Other people are not as fortunate as I am where, you know, they could move in with a family member or so. But I'm telling you that the insurance in Florida is expensive. And one of the reasons are we have a lot of hurricanes in Florida. And is that climate change? That's just data. That's natural disaster. That's natural disaster. The Bible did tell us in the last days that we'd be having more and more natural disasters. The Bible did not call it climate change. Insurance company, they take risk, and the data is showing that Florida and California, two most beautiful states in America, where most middle class, rich, and middle class, rich, and poor live together. That's how it is in California and Florida. And sadly, the insurance companies is making it expensive. So I know people are going to have to leave Florida, but the insurance companies in Florida, at least they're writing it. The insurance companies in California, that's a lot more problem. And the real estate in California is dropping. The real estate in Florida isn't dropping. And it has to do with the political parties. I mean, there is massive socialism in California, okay? You just think about the liberalness of this earth. The core of socialism is all in California. Where do you think these banks fail? These Silicon Bank Val in San Francisco. What is it? Federal FDIC. You've got Newsom with the insurance company. You've got Nancy Pelosi. I mean, it's all California. It's so liberal. People, this is what happens when you don't put God first. This is what happens when we become so secular that we start believing in ourselves. And people believe in AOC and Biden. They believe that they can solve poverty, even though the Bible said Matthew 25 effect would exist and that the poor will always be with us. So government is not the solution, as you could tell. Government is part of the problem. And the only way to solve the insurance problem in California is to have less government interference, because it's government why the insurance companies are leaving. They're not saying it, but it's kind of obvious, right? The government is setting the way the insurance should be, and they were inflated so low. And now the reality is insurance is expensive because the inflation, everything is going to cost more because the inflation is high, and we know that the administration, big government, didn't act on time for the inflation. So now we're just trying to catch the inflation. Hopefully the inflation will slow down somehow. I'm Tisha Paul. Thanks for watching from all of us here at Talk Time. Goodbye and see you real soon. Take care.